Have you ever had a moment where you just knew? Where your gut gave you an answer so clearly that it bypassed all your careful analyses? I had one of those moments, standing in the back doorway of a house. And the 4 words that came out of my mouth in that moment changed my life completely. So it's a Saturday afternoon, and my wife is driving us around a neighborhood that we've never visited before today. We're house hunting, and she's picked out 5 or 6 houses, all clustered together. It's all based on this kind of vague intuition that this area might be a fit for us. It's a little bit farther out than we're used to, but honestly, we have no idea what we're doing. And the first few houses, disasters. Steep yards that look like I would tumble into traffic trying to mow them. Obvious deal breakers everywhere we look. One house I remember had a tree jutting out in the middle of it. I'm getting cynical, starting to wonder how anyone ever makes a decision this big. Then we're driving to this house on a corner. A little further out, I jokingly call out as we're driving over the river and through the woods. But I actually like that. Growing up in a small town, something about being out a little bit feels right to me. My wife points it out as we pass by. I sort of double take and I turn to her and I say, "That one looked all right." It's the first time all day, really, that I've had any reaction that wasn't just next. So the next day, we're back at the house. We've contacted the agent and we're getting our first kind of tour. So we walk up to the back door and I remember the moment that I stepped through that doorway. Hardwood floors stretch out in front of me. There is a fireplace over to my right. I take a quick scan around the room. Something just settles in me. I look at my wife and those 4 life-changing words emerge without hesitation. This is the one. I'm getting emotional even thinking about it now because I knew, not thought, knew instantly, you know. But my wife, she's approaching this the way most of us approach big decisions. We have to look at another house, she says. We have to compare. We have to find out more information. She's not wrong. That's the logical approach. That's how I normally make decisions too. But I also know that we're kind of just going through the motions because my gut had already given me the answer. So the next day we do drive to this other place. It's a little closer to the city center, great location, big yard. And the moment we walk in, we're immediately picking it apart. All the things that won't work for our goals. It's like an old house, it's kind of run down. We're actually chuckling to ourselves a little bit because having seen the alternative just sort of confirms what I felt the moment I stepped through the first door. So we rush back to the other house to get a look and refresh our memory. And that's when we see another couple walking out the back door. A husband, a wife, and their little girl. They've just toured our house. Fear shoots through both of us. We get on the phone with our agent immediately. We have got to put in an offer, we say. We've got to move this forward. That evening, we meet her and we make it official. And we do end up getting the house. And here's what that experience taught me about trusting your gut again. First, notice when you're stuck in mental loops. I was lost in my head that entire day, replaying the past, projecting into the future, building this cynical narrative about how impossible it was to make a big decision like this. That's where most of us live most of the time, really. Then recognize the jolt. When we passed that house and I said, "That one looks all right," it felt like a splash of cold water, sudden, clear. Completely different from all the mental noise that I had been carrying in that moment, you know. Your gut doesn't whisper, it cuts through the chatter with something immediate and undeniable. Next, follow it into your body. That splash of cold water didn't just give me information that I stewed on, it put me in motion immediately. We found a realtor, we set up a meeting, we made the walkthrough happen, we put in the offer. I didn't let my mind talk me out of it or delay with endless analysis. And when I stepped through that doorway the next day, I didn't overanalyze what I was taking in. I let my senses engage. The hardwood floors, the fireplace, even the smell of the place. It was an old house and had this familiarity to it. I felt it instead of thinking about it. Finally, trust the echo. That warmth that enveloped me when I said, "This is the one," that was my gut speaking through my entire being. When your whole body says yes, that's deeper than any spreadsheet or pros and cons list could ever be. The mind wants to direct and control everything, but your gut, it cuts right underneath all of that and tells you what you actually need to know. So the next time you're facing a big or small decision, try this. Notice when you're stuck in mental loops, past regrets, future worries, endless analyses. Watch for the jolt, that moment when something cuts through the noise with simple clarity. And when it comes, act on it. Don't let your mind talk you out of the momentum that your gut just gave you, that inertia that's there. Now, I am curious about your experience with this. Think back to a major decision or a milestone of your own. Your job, your relationships, a creative project, something that really mattered to you. Drop a comment and tell me, did you follow your gut or did you analyze your way to the choice? And looking back now, how did that work out for you? I read every comment and your stories help me understand what resonates most with this community. Because the more that we share these moments of trusting our inner knowing, the more that we remember that it was always there, waiting for us to listen. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you want to understand how to reconnect with that part of yourself that always knows, there's something that I discovered that changed everything for me. It started with one simple question that took me from my head back into my body, back to that place where real knowing lives. I'll show you exactly what it is in this video right here. Thanks for watching.